Mr. B and I are going to show you a few things about worm cocoons. Now, worms do not lay eggs, they have cocoons. And in the white band portion of their bodies, there's a raised area, it's called a clitellum. And this is where the cocoons are formed. And the cocoons can be released from the worm about 1 to 3 times a week, depending on the age of the worm. The worm has to be about 3 months old. Yes, Mr. B, I know you're there. Do you see him? He wants to be in the video too. Okay, B, come here. So the worm will start releasing cocoons from its body after about 3 months. They have to be 3 months old. And once they start releasing cocoons, they will release between 1 and 3 a week. And inside each cocoon, there is anywhere between 1 to 3 tiny worms. And now that's for the red wigglers. Every worm species is slightly different, but I'm just talking about the red wigglers, the red worms that we distributed in the class. Now, another interesting thing about worms is that they're hermaphrodites. And if you remember me telling you about hermaphrodites, that means they have female and male parts in their bodies. So one worm will mate with another worm, but they're both male and female. So they have to mate, and they have outside of their bodies. Their sexual reproduction is outside their bodies. And so they just kind of slither next to each other, exchange body fluids, and that's how they create cocoons. So this is another really weird, if you didn't think worms were weird, you're really gonna think they're weird now, because their cocoons slip and slide off over the top of their heads and their mouth area. It doesn't come out from the back end, it comes out from the anterior, which is very odd. You would think, like most things that lay eggs or get rid of things, it comes out through the posterior end. But no, worms have to be different. They are going to release their cocoons over their heads and over their mouth and slip them into the soil. Now, I love digging through soil for worm cocoons. I just think it's the funnest thing. And I will show you my worm bins. And after a couple of weeks, I'll be digging in there looking for cocoons. And I know they're going to be there. And of course, the smaller the worm, the smaller the cocoon. The larger the worm, the larger the cocoon. So I have some very, very nice cocoons that I collected for you guys in these magnifying lenses, and I'm going to show them to you right now. So hold on, I'm gonna turn the camera on my worm cocoons and show you how beautiful they are. Okay, here's some cocoons that I collected from my worm bins. And here's one up close. I think you can see it. Let's see if we can get the lighting a little better. There you go. This is under magnifying lens, a little box that I have. So I have no idea how old this cocoon is, but it's gonna take around 11 weeks before you see a worm coming out of them. Now, when the cocoon is ready to release the worms, you can actually see the worms in there moving around. I'm not seeing that yet, but this cocoon has an elongated end. So I'm wondering, let's take this off, if, oh, you gotta see this. Mr. B, he has to be part of this show. I'm so sorry, Mr. B, but this is not about you. It's about the worms. Okay, let's see if I can focus in on this. There's the cocoon. Back up just a little and see if that is a worm coming out. No, but do you see anything moving in there? I don't. All right, let's check out some more. This is fascinating to me. I could do this all day. Okay, there's another one. This one has 2. Do you see any worms coming out of there? No, not yet. I almost hate to put them back in the soil because I might miss out on seeing the worms come out. but I would have to be there right at the right day. Okay, there's a beauty. Do you see a worm in there? Anything moving, wiggling? Sure looks like something, doesn't it? That's what happens when you let the cocoon dry out. It shrivels up. I had one student drop one on the floor. We frantically looked for it, couldn't find it. That one doesn't look so good. Oh, that's a beauty. Look at that. No worms coming out though. Can't see anything moving. Ambulance, come and save these worm cocoons. And that's it. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cocoons that are in pretty good shape, and I've got 5 that are in desperate need of moisture. So I'm going to squirt them and put everybody out in the worm bin to see if they will produce some babies. Now, like I said, it takes 11 weeks. That's almost 3 months for the worms to come out. So you can be sure I'm not going to stand here with my camera waiting for these guys to decide to venture out of their cocoons. But I did want to show you how cool they are and how exciting it is, boys and girls, to go out digging in the dirt to find these guys. And I'm sure if you find some night crawler cocoons, that would be extremely interesting, wouldn't it? Okay, boys and girls, that's it for now. Mr. B is eating again, and he said, "Hi, boys and girls." Mr. B, hey B, say goodbye.